What's up, guys? So, a couple trades today, three separate names, and they were all pretty good except for the fact that I took double my usual position size, and I think I did that because I had a loser. So, we'll go over some, let's see here. Let's start with the first loser, TTNP, right out of the gates, I believe. Not bad. It wasn't bad. So, TTNP was gapping up 60% or so. Clearly, it was going to be one of the big ones in play. Now we can see earlier on on the days that it ran, the same day it slammed down. See here, slammed down. This gapped up, slammed down. Except for really, this time right here, but the volume day, which is right here, gapped up, slammed down. So I should have seen that this was going to be super top heavy, and maybe just not put so much long bias into it, or not have held on so long, or just, I don't know, maybe traded a little bit better, but it was still good. So the support here was clear to me at 230. And it was holding pre-market, and it kept holding with these hammer candles. So I bought in right here, right for this kind of break of this wedge, and my first target was somewhere around 250. I was going to sell most of it because this is where the resistance is on the daily at 249 right here. So I was going to sell most of it there. That would have been a like 30-cent trade. Oh, sorry, 30-cent trade, and I had a very, very tight stop. So you can see as we didn't hold, I think I had my stop here at 226. So I lost like 40 something dollars. 50? Yeah, around $50 on that trade. That was fine. But then I kind of saw this level, right, where is it? Sorry, I'll show you. Right, where was it here at 217 or so? Kind of just where this top is. But just somewhere in this area, you can see this is kind of a level. So 210-ish. I saw on the level 2 that it was holding and people were filling. There's massive amounts of shares on the bid. Excuse me. So I bought in again there for 1,000 shares. And I was holding and I held here and I was up, what is that, 22 cents? Which was like 220 bucks on 1,000 shares, right? So I didn't want to sell myself short. And I didn't mark out that 210 level, because if I'd have marked out that 210 level, maybe I would have held on, but I sold again, and then I bought again for this break, and then I was selling here at the 230 resistance, because it was clear after this bearish engulfing candle that we were probably going to continue downwards. So I don't know. I don't know if I could have played that differently, because usually if it pops up and I move my stop higher, then I feel stupid if I get stopped out when it flushes and then it continues higher. So I think that was actually pretty good. This trade was not so good. I was trying to trade this breakout right here. Thought we might go to the upside, and as I was typing in my stop up here, I was typing in like 220 or something. It had already flushed before I hit sell. Like, that's how quick it was. We can see in here, if we go on the 5-second chart, I bought right as it was flushing, and then I just held on. That was my own fault, but that was only with, was that with 1,000 shares again? 238. Yeah. No, 500 shares. So I reduced my risk, which is good, but I held on to it for far too long when this was confirmed that this trade was headed down, not up. So whatever, down 104 on that. Now CIFS is a different story. CIFS went really, really well. It started to gain a lot of momentum, and we were flagging right here above this level. I had this level drawn before. $2. $2 is just like a giant psychological resistance point anyways, but also if you look on the daily here, it was clear that $2 was having, like, $2 was the level that was having a hard time kind of breaking through, and now that we're above it, we were most likely going to have it act as resistance as we were consolidating. So I bought in I bought in right here, and I sold a little early. After that loss, I don't know, I was just kind of trading a little weird. I don't know what I was doing exactly. I was too afraid to accept the full risk, so I would sell before it really went down at all. You can see my entries and my exits are pretty much at the same price. CIFS bought at $2, sold at $1.95, and was buying again at $1.98. Like, should have just held for my targets, which they eventually hit. We broke through 215 here, and we were headed up towards this level here, 260. I didn't mark the 260, so I was just taking profits all the way up. Now, again, if I'd have just looked at the frickin' daily, it would have shown me this line, and I would have held. I definitely would have held for this, because that's what I do. I hold until my target. So that's why on TTNP, holding for my target means that I missed on the profit from here to here, but when the trade does work out, you make a lot more money. So CIFS, I had a really, really nice profit on that. So after it did this and it came up to 260, then I saw that level. I let it do its thing. It came back in, and I was buying on support here of the 260, and I was looking for a breakout here, which it did do. But then you see I still had that mentality of like, oh, I don't want to screw up my profit. And so on this dip, I got filled right at the bottom here of this dip at 266. And then it comes, it bounces 266 again, and it goes through high of day. So if I had just waited for high of day at $3, that would have been another 260 up to $3. That would have been another 400 bucks. So, I mean, it was okay, but I doubled my size. You see I have 2,000 shares here. Where is it? CIFS. 2,000 shares. And that was only because I took a loss. So if I had taken another loss, that would have just put me right down past my max loss of 200, and I would have had to stop. So I don't know. Hopefully you can learn a little bit from that trade in terms of patience, in terms of levels, in terms of selling. So, and then finally, the garbage trade of the day was on GLG. Now this thing pumped up on no volume. This thing never has any volume. Look at this crap. Just look at this. There's no days that are over like 1 million shares, and that last time it did was the beginning of 2018, and this thing was halted for 6 months. So I don't know. I had the win. I thought I was, Jesus, and I paid a little bit of a price on that. So what I did here was I tried to buy as it was dipping, because I saw a huge guy on the bid. It was like 50,000 shares, and it kept bouncing off of him and coming back up. See if I can show you on the 5-second. Come on. Okay, yeah, here it is. So it kept coming back up and slamming back down onto, or 190, sorry. And then bouncing back up again, slamming back down, bouncing up, slamming down, and then we bounced up, and I was holding for the break of 215. I was trying to sell around, so if we look at the resistances here, 212 is one of the resistances, and then the next resistance is 260. Now I'm getting that from the high of these daily candles, 260, that's close enough. So I should have seen that, the other days that this goes up, it just, I don't know. This is a really low volume crap stock. So instead of stopping out right away, again with 1,000 shares, which should have been my max size, it dumped another 15 cents. So I doubled to 2,000, thinking that once we do finally break out of this, if we go back to the 1 minute, once we do finally break out of this, it's going to come up, and then we're going to surge through high of day. But there's no news on this stock. Let me look. Yeah, literally no news. So I shouldn't have done that. And like I said, I paid the price here, but I'm still up fairly nice-ish on the day. Just something to learn. You can't trade these crap stocks with no news because they won't hold up. They won't have the volume. They'll just be the pump and dumps on the chat rooms, or whatever reason that they're up in the first place. So I stopped out where I should have, so that was good. I shouldn't have wasted the time, the mental capital, the financial capital on this trade. I just shouldn't have been in it. So there were other reasons that CIFS was a buy and hold, and that TTNP was a sell, like a short trade. So those were in the filings here on the SEC. Now, I'm not going to go over this right now. Actually, I'll make another video for this, but based on the news that they released, you could kind of get a bias for the fact that, again, if you look at TTNP, at open, boom, it sold off. And then CIFS, on the other hand, at the open, it went up and up and up, and it's been kind of trending up the whole day, and it made a giant move. Like we're up over 150%, and we were up close to 175%. So anyways, I'll do another one on that. But until then, hopefully I can fix some of the mistakes I made today, and we will see you guys tomorrow.